Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith in the Black Quantity VTF for T3 Live with this week's market wrap-up, which is also the monthly wrap-up and coming into holiday week. And so we got new monthly charts, all that kind of fun stuff for you. If you go to the SPY, you're going to see this. Monthly. So SPY goes into the highs, and so we go out near the highs, a little profit taking today. So the question is, when people are like, oh, the market's going to crash, I'm like, well, first of all, you'd have to make a lower low on monthly, and we're nowhere near doing that. So we'll see what happens. What we do have is the weekly, tight weekly here. You could go either way to start off the month next week. A lot of people taking off next week too, so I'm going to be out Tuesday myself just to make it a little bit longer. With the VIX this low, it's just... there's accused the VIX this low. We've been basically staying a lot on the story stocks of the day, the gaps and stuff like that. Certainly there's been movers like Amazon's has quite the month, and it was, for a while, we had a lot of fun with Tesla. Funding secured month, and so here you got inside week for Tesla, and it's going to give you the RevStrat month there, going up and coming all the way back in here. Inside month counted by the shooter, so we'll see. That could be fun. Small cappers. Small cappers go the highs off the inside month, and right now pinning right near the highs, so all sorts of fun there. Diamonds still got a little bit more room. We'll see what comes of that. I'm sorry, diamonds. Diamonds got a little more room on that, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, we got a lot of tight range weeks, and so what's the next two? Which side do we take out next week? Diamonds a little closer to taking out these lows, so we'll see. We got some little gappers in here we could fill, but pretty much really just staying on a bunch of what's going on day by day and taking advantage of the gap list. Just like today, we had this NTNX both ways, and NTNX is real nice right out the opening, and here off the opening, then all the way back in. So that was quite the ways here. And you can see this when you go back to the 60. And TNX did this. We had this long in here, and then you got this shooter counters hammer 60 like that. Stuff like that that will be staying on. ZUO made the late puke here. And so you get that inside 60 right here, and there you go. And take a little big buck and change out of that. But, it's an exhaustion week, which means all the charts start over again, except the quarterlies and the yearlies, which I'll be doing this weekend too. But the monthly, weekly, daily, 60 all starts over again. So when people start looking at daily, they're micromanaging. You got to look at all this stuff, right? And so some of the ones that stayed inside doing nothing month, which can give us the clues, you got the Facebook going inside month. Here with the Goog. Which way do they go? All right. Either of those. You got AVGO. I keep an eye on that one too. And, the sectors just was good as IBB finally perked up a little bit here. Just a little bit. Started trying to get going just this week finally. So hopefully IBB can keep coming, give us some more stuff. You got GILD going inside month. And we'll be tracking all that stuff as the month goes on. And then it's a matter of whether some of this real lackluster stuff can start perking up too. Or do we just keep pounding Amazon and Apple and here Apple go, right? And that's what you look for. Like halfway through a month, I want a bar that starts to look like this, right? With this and the Amazon. FAS here finally get a little bit going, right? Just a little bit. XLF. Here you can nothing. Look at that. And so if we want to look like XLE, yeah, come on, OIH, yeah, these things doing nothing. XOP, a little bit better, RevStrat, hammer counter shooter there. And so, yeah, and XME, you can see this. It's doing nothing. Home Builders, XHB. So, as we continue to get deeper into this bull market, we want to see what all these other things are going to do. Otherwise, we'll just stick with the fingers as long as we can. Now you got inside monthers for Facebook and Google, and that's why it was better to be in the Amazon when you see stuff like that. But let them open, see which side these things take out, and if things ever are going to really get ugly, right, first things first, you got to make a lower low on something, right? So you finally go make a slight lower low on the daily. But coming in next week, take a look at all the weekly charts, and are we taking out the highs or the lows of the previous week? That's what we want to know, because that's going to tell us at least the beginning direction for the month. Much like when people talk about turnaround Tuesdays or whatever, there's turnaround everything, right? Because everything is either confirmed or negated. So anytime something starts to go one way, you just keep looking at the color and which side of the range they're taking out. Right now, SPY back up close to the middle, like I said, diamonds here. closer to the lows. QQQ, closer to the highs. It'd be tough to take this out, but that's why we play the game and we open them. I'm not going to have much more for you because I got to hit the books here and do the research because I'm going to make a macro video and I make my weekend video, and that's when we get done. But we don't have any more signals in force. The monthlies are exhausted. Now we got to look for what the new signals are. So it's a nice long weekend in Chicago and in America, and I'm going to take an extra day. So I hope everybody had a wonderful week and has an even better long weekend. I'm Russ with you in the Black Quantity VTF here, T3 Live for this week's Market Wrap-Up.